One day at the Baliwag Town Plaza beside St. Augustine Church, where Calesas Park, the three of us, Tabog, Pipit, and I saw the man who tortured us with the singing of Philippine national anthem in the reversed order. Our torturer is 5'11", with a good body built. Got these bulbous eyes of Big Diaz, who appeared in Tagalog movies of the 60s, with the Liban clips, mustache of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hugo, his name. Hugo is Calesa driver by day, moonlighting as a barrio self-defense unit at nights. BSDUs, a paramilitary unit of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, used to buffer the NPA's, New People's Army, infiltrating a barrio. We also learned he's a drunkard. Sandy, his favorite, smoothing the arch end of his mustache, his obvious mannerism. Tabog and Pipit approached Hugo. Pipit negotiated with Hugo to bring us to Tenejero, paying him more. While Pipit negotiates, Tabog dropped off Oropac pills on a pail of molasses where Hugo's horse drink. Oropac are lazy pills. My mother used them for her pig to get lazy. When Hugo nodded, I loaded up the cooler with the bottles of sandwiches to the carriage. I scooped 3 bottles of beer from the cooler, uncorked them, and started drinking amid our boisterous laughing. I watched Hugo. He's restless. He's at the front, reining his horse, often turned his head at the back, giving us a conspirator smile. He's eager for us to offer him a battle. Of course, the offer would come later when his salivating built up until we reached the desolated part of the road and once his horse responded to the Oropac pills. The Calasa reached the border separating Baliwag and Candaba, where desolated part of the road begins. I gave Hugo an uncorked bottle of San Mig. His bulging eyes almost fell down from its sockets. He grabbed the bottle, emptied it. This beer kicked big, seemed to have funny taste, he said. I showed him my bottle. Read this, made in Manila, Philippines. The print means it's a special brew. Oh, is that right? Hugo said. The beer Tabog gave him had a mixture of lambanog, a palm wine with 40% alcohol content. The Calasa got so slow now. Hugo whipped his horse. The carriage stopped. The Oropac worked. But Hugo remained sober. We gave him more of our brewed beer. He passed out. Lifting and bringing Hugo to the mimosa field put a strain on our collective energy. We tied together both of his elbows to his back. Pipit untangled the horse to its wagon and hitched the horse to Hugo's hip. We waited. Tabog practiced using Hugo's whip, slashing the wind. The swishing sound twinkled his eyes. When Hugo opened his eyes, he rose to his knees. The bones on his shoulder burst out to his flesh. He writhed in pain as he moved his arms. To his surprise, he styled up to his horse. An anguish reflected on Hugo's face. It gratified us. Retribution, here we come. Have you seen the Spartacus movie? Tabog asked, striking the air with Hugo's weight. What's that got to do tying me to my horse? Hugo said. I stood a few feet away beside the horse, holding its rein. We didn't want his horse to do something stupid yet. Pipit slapped Hugo's face. His head pirouetted. Pipit didn't want Hugo to get intelligent. Answer with respect, Pipit said. In Spartacus movie, the horse is used to trot out gladiators' dead body. Do you want that? Tabog whipped the air. Watch out your tongue. Pipit said. No, sir, Hugo said. The sir made Pipit smile. You'll follow whatever we've asked you to do. If not, I'll whip your horse. It will run amok, dragging your body till your bones crushed and scattered all over the field. What did I do to you, sirs? Oh, you don't know? The 3 kids whom you forced to sing Bayang Magiliw in the reversed order. Nahindot na. Fuck. Hugo explained, bowing his head. Now get yourself naked, Tabog said. I'm tied up. How can I do that? Hugo said. Pipit slapped him. Told you. Speak with respect. Okay. Pipit released his elbows. Tabog said. Pipit, cut off the vine on Hugo's behind. As soon as Hugo's left hand got freed, it went right away to his mustache, smoothing its arch end. You love that caterpillars of yours, huh? You did that first before getting naked? Huh? Take off your clothes, all of it, Tabog yelled. Hugo undressed himself. We look at one another. Is it tiny or just shrunk? Now, since you love your caterpillar, I want you to pluck 10 strands of white hair on your mustache while kneeling. And swear your right hand in the air. Then recite for us Panatang Makabayan in the reverse order. And we'll just leave you here, Tabog said. That's a tall order for Hugo. Hugo looked up at the sky, lips locked up. His Adam's apple spiked up and down at an incessant speed. He cried, then passed out. We debated the ordeal Hugo had to face. First, I said, Hugo has no white hair. That's the idea there, Fingerling. I didn't know why Tabog tagged me as Fingerling. I am the tiniest, but I'm sure I don't have a pea brain. A twin pain for him. Emotional parting with his beloved mustache and the plucking. As he had no white hair, a bald upper lip would devastate him. That's fun, don't you think? Tabog said. That's right, Pipit agreed. What's the deal with Panatang Makabayan reciting in the reverse order? I asked. That's our penultimate revenge, Pipit said. We cracked his brain to figure that out. He did that to us with Bayang Magiliw. So you mean you excluded me in this part of the plan? I asked. We know you, Fingerling. You're scared chicken shit. You would just derail our plan, Pipit said. But you guys didn't put thoughts on this plan. How Hugo can get to that Panatang Makabayan part, huh? When he couldn't get 10 white hairs from his mustache. That's stupid. Panatang Makabayan is not the same as Bayang Magiliw that everybody knows. What do you guys want? Hold him in perpetual captivity and wait for eternity for him to comply? So what should we do? Asked Pipit. Hugo regained consciousness, and just in time his horse's forelegs jumped, scratching the air, neighing loud. The rein slipped out of my hand, had me thrown off. As the forelegs dropped to the ground, the animal ran wild, trotting out Hugo. The arrow-back fears wore off. Pipit got his answer by accident. One day, the Philippine Constabulary got tipped off. Suspected band of NPA visited our barrio. The PC raided our barrio. All males herded into one place. One man on the raiding team looked familiar. He has mustache caressed by his left hand. His right arm mangled. Hugo saw us.